sure if the system allows it, but you can try.
Exactly. I think it doesn't actually, because you're not the host, Derek. I'm the host.
Not
Only
a problem.
one.
I can do my recording through note taking. It's fine.
But you know what? I can send you the recording if you wish, Derek. That's not a problem because I've got your email address. So that should be fine, Derek.
That's ideal. You'll probably struggle to send me the video because it'll be pretty big, but the audio recording should fit on email. Okay.
Yeah, that should be fine, the audio recording. So you'll get that at least. Okay, I think we can give a start. You know what? I mean, I send a reminder. It's 5 minutes past and you're on time. So we don't want to use your precious commodity, which is specifically the time is the most precious commodity. So I'm the host of today, and me and Katrin are representing Noble Manhattan. I'm the managing director for Noble Manhattan Coaching Institution in Switzerland. And Katrin is overseeing a huge region. Katrin, please, can you tell us again which countries you're looking at?
Well, officially, it's the countries in the Balkan region, which is, Bulgaria, Albania, Greece, Montenegro, Croatia, Kosovo, Macedonia, Bosnia and Herzegovina. So that region, but we do have students in a few more countries like Egypt and Netherlands and a few more countries around the globe.
So we're really truly global. But today is really about, we wanted to unlift the myth about coaching and what coaching is, because people have questions around coaching. So Derek, since you have done some already, some investigations, what is coaching for you?
Well, it's funny you should ask that, because I asked that very question last weekend, and I'm not sure I really got an answer from the person I was asking the question of. I think coach, I will define it how I understand it. So let me contextualize coaching. Let me contextualize myself. That'll maybe give you a little bit of background.
That would be great. Yeah.
My background from about 20 years or so ago, I was an engineer, and so I like fixing things. I like solutionizing. That can be a good thing and a bad thing. Because of my success in engineering management roles, and have been in management roles principally within technology organizations for the best part of the last 20 or so years. In 2019-20, I found myself in a position that there was a lot of life change happening. I was becoming somewhat unsatisfied with career mainly, although career is clearly a large part of life. And I sought some coaching myself. So through 2019 and 20, I received some coaching, which was relatively successful, brought me a little bit more on track. I enjoyed it so much that I took a decision that I wanted to do coaching more seriously. So I decided to, it's probably a fairly familiar story, I decided to take up some coaching myself. The coaching I received was by an individual who was coached by a company called NM based in London. And I have started some training with NM as well. Now, through the coaching that I've received and the coaching training that I've done and the practice coaching that I've undertaken, I would say that coaching sits between what I'm going to call psychological and emotional interventions and what I'm going to call organizational interventions. And what I mean by that is that let's say you've got left to right. On the left-hand side, you have mental health and counselling, so psychiatry, psychology, counselling, which is all about addressing illness and mental health and improving people's ability to be successful, happy. So that's principally psychological and emotional. And then on the far right-hand side, you have organizational or individual drive through things like mentoring and training. But there's a gap in the middle there around fulfillment, success, happiness, achievement, performance. So that's how I see coaching, about filling that gap between psychological, mental health and counselling interventions and organisational or individual success interventions. I don't know if that makes any sense at all or whether it fits in with your views, but it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Derek. That was really thorough. I'm really impressed. Wow. You did some research, clearly. And we've got Marina as well, who dialed in. Hi, Marina.
Hello, Marina.
She's on mute. Okay, great. All righty. So actually, the definition of coaching is like, yeah, almost like organizational. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. And coaching is really about performing at your best. And through the individual and private assistance of someone who will challenge you, stimulate you, and guide you to keep growing, right? So we are taking as a coach, we assess where you are. We assess what your beliefs, what your values are. We set together a kind of roadmap for you where you would like to be. It's like a collaborative alliance with you to establish and clarify your purpose, your goals, and to develop a plan of action. Really a plan of action that you are going to achieve. And we will take you as well as a coach accountable for this. So it's really the understanding of what is really important to you in life. Subsequently, enable you to take charge of your own life, absolutely, to construct, act upon action plans, do it, realize your priorities. So coaching is about helping you to create and work towards the greatest version of the greatest personal vision you have. And whatever the vision is, everyone is different, yeah? To achieve success, continuous realization, be your ideal self. That could be in profession, that could be your personal life. So it's really taking you where you stand now and guiding you, accompanying you towards the goal you would like to achieve. It's a conversation. It's a trust relationship. The coach and the coachee, definitely. It's a dialogue between you and the coach. And it's productive, results-oriented context. So that's what coaching is all about. And this is where we are. Therapy, psychological counseling is really taking a bit into the past, looking and healing the past and assessing as well the where you are, getting the baggage out. But coaching is really focusing towards the future, getting there, to help you, to guide what you would like to achieve in life, in career, in your profession, whatever it is. And each person is unique. So this is coaching. And we are from Noble Manhattan Coaching. There are many coach training institutions out there. We are one of the best, named one of the best as well. And we have a lot of awards and we love what we are doing. I stumbled across about coaching, just about me. It's also an interesting story. I was always in corporates. So I worked for corporates since 30 years. So my origin is Turkish. I grew up in Germany, then started my career in Istanbul. And in 2005, I got the offer to come to Geneva, Switzerland, again with the same corporate. And they made me redundant. In the meantime, I wanted to do something different. And people were coming always to me to ask for guidance, So I was acting as a mentor already. But a mentor is different than a coach. A mentor is really sharing their experiences and also really providing solutions. But a coach does not provide solutions. A coach is asking questions, powerful questions, so that you yourself will arrive with the answers yourself, because we believe as coaches that each individual has got the full power, the knowledge, the skill to do anything and achieve anything they want. We are helping you to uncover that as a coach. Again, back to my story. So I thought, yeah, I want to do this. I want to really do this diploma because it's important in Switzerland. Without diploma, you can't get far. And I was looking around and I stumbled across Noble Manhattan. And by coincidence, I knew someone who was in Noble Manhattan before. And I liked the vision. And I like that it's not only giving you the training. I like the fact that it gives you a sense of belonging and purpose, a sense of family. And you know what? When you start with Noble Manhattan, you're not finishing. So I'm already certified and accredited And I do many more stuff now, still with Noble Manhattan. It continues. There are a lot of opportunities that Noble Manhattan is offering you in terms of self-development, in terms of support, in terms of creating your coaching business. And we are supporting each other constantly. It's caring and sharing. That's our belief. Apart from that, we have a rigorous program, about 350 hours of coaching studies to be done. Lots of webinars. I can't even count. I don't even know how many. The quantity is so vast. You have
Over
it for
200 hours.
Oh, exactly. I was like, oh my goodness, as I saw this. And it's increasing all the time. And as a student, and even after math, you have access to all the resources, webinars, constant improvement, study buddies, mentors. So it's a full-fledged blended coach training program, which gives you online flexibility, plus as well personal and individual support, which I thought that was great. Specifically, I enjoyed the mentor sessions because there I got as well immediate feedback about how am I doing? Am I good or not? And there was great and constructive and detailed, thorough feedback coming back. So that's about the coaching environment, what we as Noble Manhattan provide to our coaches, to our students, to be coaches as well. And Katrin, please fill in anything that I missed.
Okay, well, what else? Actually, I'm one of the trainers on the program, a couple of the programs. But another initiative that we also have, Hulya and I, that are doing, is that we hold a monthly masterclass program for people who would like to upgrade and grow their coaching skills. So some people that join us, they are beginners in the coaching, but other people are coaches already and want to grow further. Like she said, like Hulya said, our goal is to create the community of coaches that develops and grows and expands. And so we do a lot of activities such as the masterclasses or these or webinars that we run monthly that are aimed at mastering the art of coaching. You know, some people, I actually, if you allow me to share a story, I just talked on the phone with a client of mine just before this meeting. I had a long conversation, and she was very excited, telling me how she works with this bank here in Bulgaria, and she's part of the HR, and she is doing this event and that project and da-da-da. But she contacted me because she's curious about coaching. So I was telling her, well, how much do you know about coaching? Oh, I know a lot about coaching. You know, I've been reading books since like 2 years ago. I'm like, okay, so how do you see yourself? You know, so we got into this whole conversation, and at the end of the conversation, she just basically she was convinced that she knows everything about coaching. And I told her, I asked her, can you do a coaching session? And she kind of looks at me, and she's like, I'm not sure. And this reminded me, I actually play a guitar. I am a guitar player. I play, sing, write songs, and I'm a dancer as well. This is besides coaching. So I have a guitar at home. Recently, my husband and I moved to, we bought a new house, a property in a lovely village in the mountains. One of my neighbors is an Englishman. Him and his wife live in Bulgaria. And we made friends because we're neighbors. And so when we went to visit, he pulled out, he said he has this set of ukuleles. You know, they look like this little tiny guitar.
Yeah, I know. My son has got one.
And I'm like, is this a toy? He goes, no, that's a proper instrument. I'm like, okay. So 2 days ago, him and his wife came over to our place, and he brought me a ukulele. He said, here, you can practice on this one. So I have one of his ukuleles with me. So he spent an entire hour teaching me about the chords and how you place your fingers and how you tune it. So visually, the ukulele and the guitar, they look the same. They have the same shape many times. You know, it's like a little guitar. Of course, there's some differences, like the ukulele has 4 strings, guitar has 6. And then I also realized that the different chords, you position your fingers almost the same way, but they sound different. Like, for example, the G, what is G on guitar, the chord G, on ukulele is a C, okay? So, but it's the same positioning of the fingers. So after this 1 hour of very thorough explanation, I felt like, oh, but I know about the ukulele. I understand how I should be playing the ukulele, you know? I mean, I know how to play guitar. I am familiar with positioning my fingers. And so I was like, oh, this is very easy, no big deal. They left and I took the guitar and I'm like, oh, let me play a song. And I got stuck. I'm like, I couldn't play anything. It wasn't enough for me to just intellectually understand that I can place my fingers and it plays like this, and it looks so similar like the other thing I already know how to do. And yes, I heard very good explanation, and yes, he's a proficient in ukulele, but even though I understand it, doesn't mean that I can actually sing a song or play a concert or not, or something else like that. And this for me is totally very similar to coaching. You know, there is a lot of information that people can find online about coaching. And people walk away very often thinking, oh, I know about coaching. I've heard so many times about coaching. And yes, I talked to this person and to that person, and I read this book. But in fact, when I became a student at NM Manhattan and started coaching for the first time, which was 11 years ago, I have already gone through a coach training course with somebody else. And only when I actually sat down with the books, very systematically organized educational program that takes you from A to B, only then I actually understood, oh my God, that's what coaching is all about. And it was super transformational just for me as a student, which is one reason why I was so passionate about promoting coaching in my country and in the whole region here in the Balkans. But that principle of it's not enough to just hear and understand. You need to also get it into practice. You need to try it. Somebody needs to watch you. Work with a mentor who can tell you, no, tweak this and tweak that and tune in on this, that. And this is what you get when the mentors and trainers and webinar teachers of NM Manhattan actually conduct all these various elements of the course, the mentoring, the lectures, the written work, the assessments, the masterclass program. All of that is part of this learning how the ukulele plays.
I like your analogy.
So yeah, I think we kind of, had some stories here. We shared a bit what coaching is and not, a bit of difference about our own experience. So Derek and Marina, any questions?
Marina, I've talked a little bit already. Why don't you go first with any questions you have?
Marina? I think she is really, does she hear us? That's what my worry is.
She wrote me on chat.
She
said that
she
I can't hear you very well, and I find some difficulties with my sound.
Okay. All right. We recorded, Marina. Then you will receive the recording, Marina. I should have, your email address as well. That's absolutely fine. So, Derek, the floor is yours. Any questions?
Thank you very much. So I guess key questions are back to a little bit of what I said at the outset. Looking at the International Coaching Federation's Directory of Coaching Organizations, there's a very broad span of coaching companies which aim to achieve a very broad span of coaching aims. Some are very corporate, some are around the individual, etc. You'll know that much better than I will. It would be helpful to understand how Manhattan fit, what their key unique selling point is, if you like, and where their kind of key client base is.
Well, there are different programs, right, under NM Manhattan as well. So we have got programs. Our main flagship product is the Practitioner Coach Diploma, which will enable you to be an executive and life coach. Once you graduate, it's a real diploma. This is accredited by the International Authority for Profession and Mentoring, IAPCM, plus as well by ILM, plus as well ICF on an education level. So there are many accreditations that you're going to get with that kind of, diploma from Noble Manhattan. That allows you to go into any corporates to do executive coaching, life coaching, and then you can niche yourself. Because once you are a coach, you can also really niche yourself into, let's say, only career coaching for people, for professionals who would like to move out, or a career coach for people who may have been made redundant, or just I want to have people who would like to do transformation. So you can niche out yourself afterwards, but that gives you the broad experience and as well the knowledge to skillfully listen, how to listen, answer, ask powerful questions in each and any context. We are equipping you with transferable skills that you can apply to any niche you would like to take. That's our flagship product. If you don't want to go really into really extensive diploma, there is a lower version, we call it, which is a certificate, right? But that means you will not have any access to mentors. You will have less study time, less webinars. So it's really trimmed down, of course. It's a certificate at the end. But then you can build on it and then up level if you wish for a diploma as well. Then we have got executive corporate coaching as well, but it's really for super top management normally. This is what we have, executive corporate coaching. Workplace coaching is normally for companies. Then we have got, what else do we have? Give me one sec. Elegant coaching, we call it. But this is mainly, it will equip you with NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. It's elegant coaching, and our next round starts in July for people who are aspired to be coaches, preferably have a bit of knowledge of coaching as well, who would like to add the NLP practices and knowledge to apply in their day-to-day doing coaching. So that's elegant coaching. Mind me, with a PCD, you will cover all, because with a practitioner coach diploma, you will be on normally it's an on-site, right? But we're in COVID times. And at the moment, we do it online. So we call it the coach training experience. Yeah? And the coach training experience consists of 3 full-day masterclasses, shall I say, with explicit great trainers. The next one we are going to hold in June. We at the moment also accept external people. So if you are willing, it's paid though, because it's an online training with qualified trainers. The first time is really about the introduction to coaching. The second day is about NLP. I make it short here. And the third day is really about self-esteem. And then if you wish, you can participate in a masterclass as well, if you would like to see it for yourself, how applied coaching looks like and the power of coaching itself. So we can invite you as a guest as well, if you wish.
Sorry, Hulya, you said 3 days there, and on the first day your signal broke up. I think day 1 was NLP and day 2 was self-esteem. What was day 1?
Day 1 is about introduction to coaching.
Thank you.
So, and we are going to cover, building rapport, listening, feedback. So it's all the essentials of coaching.
And coaching models as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. It sounds interesting. So let me play back to you what I think you said, if I may. It sounds like you have a wide range of let me call it coaching training. That's my words, not yours.
Coach training programs.
Thank you. That's a much better phrase. So those coach training programs have different levels and different focus areas. The key one is the PCD, which gives you an introduction to coaching models, NLP, self-esteem. So it's a broad foundation, let me call it that.
Well, that's the program. Sorry to interrupt you, but this is the
Yeah.
program where it'll take you from A to Z.
Okay.
Regardless of whether you have had any prior coach knowledge or not, it doesn't matter, because if you have had a prior coach training, it'll fill all the gaps that I'm sure exist.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
if you haven't had any coach training before, then you have nothing to worry about, because it will take you completely and you'll have the solid foundation on which to build a career. That's what I have trained on, and that's how I've built a career. With that course, you don't have to upgrade, really.
Absolutely.
It's not like some other companies, they say, oh, take our certificate. And then 3 years later, please take this second level. And then 3 years later, we'll make you a diploma. And you end up paying in the tens of thousands of euros.
Understand.
But that's not how it works with us. We give you one full package and you get it all. And on top of it, we support you for life for free.
Sorry?
Excuse me?
Do you receive a ukulele as well?
Well, if you're really good, maybe we'll think about that.
I have a few guitars here as well, but I don't have any ukuleles. It sounds as well that you have some lower level certification courses and some courses which are focused maybe more on workplace and on executive coaching. And I think you mentioned the one about NLP as well. So it's got a very broad, probably broad and deep range of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we actually have 18 different programs.
Okay. Right.
Well, you can check it on the website as well. We might, whilst I'm sending you the recording, I'll send you the website, the link to the website as well. So you can have it for yourself, have a look. We mentioned only the major ones, right?
Sure, of course. But certainly your website has a lot of good details on it. Are you okay for time? Can I ask you another couple of questions?
Yeah, of course you can. Hey, go ahead.
Who are your key clients? Do you mostly focus on individuals or corporations?
Well, I think it's a mix, right? I mean, for me, it's a mix. We've got both. We've got corporates, Citibank. We did a big, huge program for Citibank only, that was years ago. We had also with other companies as well, some corporates, coach training programs, definitely for executives, for example. We are in the midst of creating a specific coach training program for CEOs, because they need to have different skills. So we really not stagnant as a company as well. We build and always evolution. We look at transformation and evolution all the time. And a lot of individuals, a lot of people who are also working still at work, but would like to get more skillful in leading their teams, be a better leader, being equipped with the skillful knowledge of how to direct a customer, an employee, how to ask the questions, how to detach yourself from emotions and be really neutral and get the feedback, provide feedback, show empathy, listen 360 degrees, be there with all your senses, and use neuro-linguistic programming as well to assess where the employee is. So we've got many who are working at the moment, whilst they're also getting on our course, but also individuals who just said, you know what, I just want to change my career. Okay. Some others who said, I just do it for my own, benefit. So it's a wide range.
Okay, that's helpful. That's very helpful. Thank you. That helps me place you within the context of all the hundreds of organizations which I've looked at. I guess what will help me place you as well is costs of the courses. I didn't see anything about costs on your website.
That's correct, because per the country, the cost is adjusted to the what would it call the GD, whatever, So you're in Scotland, yeah, exactly. So we would refer you to our managing director, who's based in UK, who's looking after UK and Ireland for the cost.
I have received an email from Ian Jeffress.
Absolutely.
And I think he and I have a call. So Ian should be able to provide me with more specific UK information on that, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
But we do have a chart, which I'm sure Ian can also help you receive it, which lists, it gives you a comparison between some of the leading coach training programs compared to what NM Manhattan offers. So I think it'll be very interesting for you. What's listed on the chart is the nominal price, which is internationally for our course. Like Hulya explained that regionally, sometimes we run different types of promotions and campaigns. So which why, let's say in May, Ian's price might be a little different than ours in the Balkans, but
Sure.
that's because of we are also independent regions. But we do have a standard price, and it's very interesting to compare. Actually, if you're doing a research, it's probably worth it. And there are a few things to keep in mind. You know, some courses, like for example, the amount of hours that a coach training offers you, when you divide that with the fee that you are paying for, okay, that's one thing. The comparison between hours and fee. How much per hour are you paying? Then the qualification of the trainers on those courses. For example, in NM Manhattan, all of our faculty is accredited master coaches. We are accredited with the International Institute of Coaching and Mentoring, which you are from Scotland, right? That's what you said.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
If I remember correctly in the beginning.
Yeah.
But for you being part of the British Isles, it's important for you to understand that, because the International Authority of Professional Coaching and Mentoring is the only accreditation body that is accredited and approved by the British Ombudsman. So, you know, all the other accreditation bodies tend to be more of a trade organization, including the very famous ones that some you already quoted in this conversation. But this is a different type of accreditation. In fact, the word accreditation probably belongs rightfully to that institution rather than any other. So, so that's another thing to take into account. So the accreditation, the qualification of the trainers, the price per hour, and then what does it give you at the end? Does it give you a promise for continuous path development into the world of coaching? Or does it give you a qualification that will actually place you right there in the game? That makes a difference, you know? So we're in the business of giving you everything. Actually, we over deliver. So that does make a difference, because you can invest once and then keep growing, you know, rather than, oh, please tell my next upgrade of the course and all of that. So there are these factors that sometimes are missed into the excitement of things, but there's the emotional and there's the practical. And then the other thing to consider is also the postgraduate support. You wouldn't believe how many coaches come to our masterclasses or our support groups from so many reputable schools, and they tell me, "Oh, Katrin, could you please help me to how do I make actually a good coaching session where I don't worry about how to present before the client?" And I'm like, "What? You spend a year training, and you're gonna come to my support group to ask me to give you confidence?" It's like, no, you're supposed to get it throughout the coaching training, not not after you finish it. It's like, so that's another thing. And I'm sure either Ian or Hulya could send you also this. Recently, this one gentleman who it's called Cy Blackburn.
Blackburn, yeah.
He's
I've
a
received some
leading.
emails already.
Sorry,
I've
have you?
received some emails with his name in them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he has his own business. We have nothing to do with him, except we know each other because we are part of the coaching community. Okay. So we train coaches. He teaches coaches how to sell the services, you know. And then he all of a sudden posted on the social media, without being asked, a testimonial about the coaches that come to him from various schools and how impressed he is from the coaches that graduate from NM Manhattan Coaching. And no, we have not requested the testimonial, and we haven't paid him for promotion. It had nothing to do with it. It was a spontaneous ta-da on social media. I mean, I was super happy, of course, but I'm just saying that our coaches do stand out, and that is something to be considered.
Yeah. And to be proud of, you know.
I'm taking notes like mad here. Very helpful.
Good.
Yeah, I think I've run out of questions.
Good. Okay, so that means we satisfied your curiosity, hopefully.
Well, look, we'll be here every other week.
Exactly.
We're gonna do this a regular meeting every other week. Also, in addition to that, we run monthly coaching support group meetings where we invite various speakers where they talk on other subjects. I mean, we're going to cover what's coaching and everything else about training, but we invite other people to for a grander view on key subjects that are very important. And another thing is, if you want to come and visit one of our masterclasses, come over, and we'll be happy to help you in any way we can.
Absolutely. And if you're interested in the coaching support group meetings, you know, I mean, we've got one next week. That's on Tuesday. The Zurich one is organizing one about a different topic, which I can't even pronounce, oibidobia or something like that. You know, my team is getting all these weird stuff out for coaching world, you know, and I was like, what is this? You know, okay, whatever. No, actually, no, that's for our Geneva. For our Zurich next week, it's coaching outside. It's going to be how to do coaching outside. Exactly. Because you can take coaching anywhere. Derek, I mean, you can do it outside whilst walking. I've got a new thing coming up, walk and talk, during lunch for professionals. Come in, you're frustrated, let's have a little talk, and we walk, and the weather is nice. Let's get the frustration out, and we find a way forward.
That's funny. The last coaching session I had, when I was being the coachee, I was the client. My coach was talking to me about what my niche area might be, and I don't know the answer to that. I'm too junior to define that. But he did say that there are some things I do which are, well, not unique, but maybe a little niche. I ride motorcycles and I fly a small aircraft.
Ooh, wow.
He said you should get your coachees up in the aircraft and be the only flying coach in Scotland.
You know what? This is hilarious. Absolutely. Why not? People will fly on that, I tell you. But you need to concentrate on both. That's the problem.
Well, this is amazing. But
it's dangerous.
For example, we have a student that takes care of horses, has a ranch with horses, and she does horse coaching, not for horses, but using horses in conjunction with her coaching clients. Then we have another student, graduate, they're all graduate coaches, who is an expert metal worker. He has exquisite talent with working with metal and producing these amazing things of art. And then he created a coaching program for men specifically, and he incorporates working with the metal and coaching skills. So why not flying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything is possible, Derek. Everything is possible. The sky is the limit.
Quite literally, yeah.
Exactly.
It would certainly be useful to get some further information on the other meetings you were talking about.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. Do you have my contact details?
Yes, I've got your contact details. I've got your email address because you registered. That's why I've got your email address. So I will send you the recording. I will send you some links for our coaching support group meetings. Katrin, please send me as well yours. So we've got it in one email. So your coach support group meetings, when is the next one? Yeah,
we have tomorrow, but it's in Bulgarian language, so it won't benefit you. Last one was in English. We rotate and we do English and Bulgarian because our region has 11 languages. It is very multicultural and multilingual, so we at least focus on since I live here, one for sure happens in Bulgarian and some happen in English as well. So
You will be kept informed. We put you on the
Yeah.
newsletter so you get information as well, Derek.
Hulya, Katrin, thank you very much indeed for your help. It's been a wonderful 45 minutes. Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank
My
you very
pleasure,
much for
Judy.
dialing in. We thank you for your precious time.
Thanks
And
a
with
lot.
that,
you.
have a nice evening.
It's been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Stop recording. Yes, I want to